class, today's topic that we are going to cover is shear stress. That is shear shear stress in B, right? Shear stress in B. Okay. So if we want to find the shear stress, right? So let's first understand what is shear stress is mean. तो अगर हम shear stress की conditions को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं तो first that the thing we know that about a shear stress that it should be represented in tau, and it is defined as force per unit area, right? Now when we're talking about the shear stress, the area is what the cross sectional area है में जो force लगेगा that is along the cross sections, right? अब अभी तक हम जो देखते आ रहे थे, what we have seen in the bending, in a bending moment, you can see that in a bending moment हमने equations को derive किया, right? कि हमने bending define किया, वहाँ पे equations को define किया, equations के basis पे हमने ये identify किया कि the effect of bending stress from point to point in a beam has already been considered, right? अगर हमने एक UDL लगाया है तो हमने क्या define किया कि भाई एक beam है, तो इस बीम में यूडीएल की वजह से इसमें कितना बेंडिंग मोमेंट दैट इज जनरेट हुआ है या कितना बॉडी का डिफ्लेक्शन हुआ है, दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन इन दैट केस, राइट? वी हैव नॉट येट कंसिडर्ड कि इस फोर्स की वजह से एक पर्टिकुलर बीम में कितना shear स्ट्रेस जनरेट हो रहा है, दैट वी हैव नॉट कंसिडर्ड so far. So now the today's topic that we are going to cover is shear stress. मतलब due to loading, shear stress कितना generate होता है एक beam में and how it is to be vary with respect to the cross section of the beam, right? So let's understand. अब let's understand कि जब हम pure bending की केस की बात करते हैं, when we have a pure bending, right? अब इसका मतलब समझो pure bending का मतलब, प्योर बेंडिंग में सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपका एक नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस जनरेट होता है, यू कैन से इट इज अ सिग्मा एन इन केस ऑफ प्योर बेंडिंग. अब ये आप सिग्मा की वैल्यूज को कैसे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो? यू कैन कैलकुलेट, आपके पास एक मेथड है सिग्मा बाय y इज इक्वल्स टू m अपॉन i, राइट? सो दिस इज योर फ्लेक्सुरल फॉर्मूला. इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? फ्लेक्सुरल फॉर्मूला. एंड यू कैन सी दैट कि जब आपका बेंडिंग हो रहा है तो बेंडिंग मोमेंट हो रहा है, राइट? तो बेस्ड ऑन दिस आपका एक बॉडी में स्ट्रेस जनरेट होगा जिसको आप नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस बोलोगे और जिसका मैग्नीट्यूड होगा एम वाई बाय आई. तो इट मीन्स व्हाट? व्हेन वी हैव अ बेंडिंग वी गेट अ नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस जिसको हम डायरेक्ट स्ट्रेस का भी नाम बोलते हैं, is defined as a sigma n and its value is to be written as m into y upon I, right? Now consider, अब ये तो ये कंडीशन, अब जब आपका फोर्स जनरेट होता है जिसमें आप shear फोर्स बोलते हो, राइट? तो shear फोर्स की वजह से we can say that when we have a shear force in a beam, right? When we have a shear force in a beam, right? तो बेस्ड ऑन द shear force हमको shear stress जनरेट होता है, राइट? value is defined as tau. So in this today's lecture, we are more concerned to find the values of shear stress and its conditions, right? Let's take a beam conditions और हम यहाँ पे उस टॉपिक का नाम डिफाइन करते हैं, दैट इज योर वर्टिकल and horizontal shear stress, right? Let's understand what does it mean. Let's draw first. हमने क्या किया, एक बीम की कंडीशंस को ड्रॉ किया, right? This is your beam, right? In this beam we have taken a small section, you can say an element, right? Now we can see that if we are going to take coordinates, suppose this is your x, this one is your y, and this one is your z, and a vertical direction of force which is defined as v. So v is what? V is a vertical direction of force which is acting on a beam, right? So based on this, we can say that this is your shear force, right? This must be the width of the beam, and this one be the height of the beam, right? Now let's see this case. जैसे ही आपने यहाँ पे बीम को डिफाइन किया, right? अब आपका just tell me one thing. Because of this shear force, this element have generate shear stress along the width of the beam, right? एक shear stress यहाँ पे generate हो जाएगा इस beam के section में, right? So we can define it. हमने एक छोटा सा section further इसको यहाँ पे draw किया, same one, और हमने बोला कि in this particular section, we have a shear stress which is uniform. The magnitude of shear stress is uniform throughout this element M to M, right? And this shear stress is generated because of the shear force. Now, understand this point. When we say अगर हमारा एक फेस में एक shear stress की वैल्यू जनरेट होती है जिसको हम टाउ बोलते हैं, तो इसका मतलब the top of the face, this is your vertical shear stress, right? So the top of the face also have, this is defined as your complementary shear stress, also have this values, right? We have already seen कि अगर एक face में one face of a cross section have shear stress, the other perpendicular cross sections में हमारा वहाँ पे shear stress generate होता है जिसका magnitude हमने बोला इसको D horizontal, right? So you can see that if we are going to draw this cross section in this particular fashion, right? तो आपने यहाँ पे क्या देखा कि this is your vertical shear stress and this is your horizontal shear stress, right? And we know that कि जैसे ही ये complementary shear stress generate हो other faces में इसको counter करने के लिए आपकी further shear stress generate हो, तो you can see that in this particular cross section you have a horizontal shear stress and you also have a vertical shear stress. And the beauty of this is that कि जो vertical shear stress का magnitude है that will be the same magnitude of horizontal shear stress, correct? So the value, the shear stress is constant throughout the width of the beam. Throughout the width of beam this value is constant, right? Now this vertical shear stress and horizontal shear stress are complementary to each other and their magnitudes are equal, right? That is the first conclusion we have drawn from this part. Now the second part we have defined at the top section, at the top, or you can say at the bottom section. Just let me know. Shear stress. What is the meaning of shear stress or stress? It is the resistance, or you can say the internal resistance of the body when you apply an external force, right? So you can see that if you are going to take this element at this particular point, right? जैसे ही आप इस particular point पे बात करते हो, just tell me, can you define a horizontal value of shear stress at this point? नो, बिकॉज इसके ऊपर तो कोई लेयर नहीं है ना जो इसको काउंटर फोर्स को अप्लाई करने के लिए. देयर इज नो फोर्सेस, राइट? So if there is no force, it means there is no shear stress at the top portion. Likewise, there is no shear force at the bottom portion. So we can say that the horizontal shear stress at the top is zero because there is no stress on the outer surface of the beam. We can write that because there are no stress on the outer surface of the beam, right? Therefore, so that we can say that, therefore, if the horizontal forces, shear stress is zero at the top section, we can say that at the top section your vertical shear stress value should also be vanished, that is zero, and we can say that this is the value of y. So we can say that y is equals to plus minus h by 2. It means that shear stress value is zero when you have a value of h at positive or at negative. So we are concerning, अब हम यहाँ पे अगर समझने की कोशिश करें, so this y value is defined from this neutral axis. So this values, ये half of this values को represent करेगा, तो ये हम बोलेंगे h by 2 and this is again defined as h by 2. So based on the previous discussion, let's derive the shear formula, right? So I'm going to write, this is a very derivation of shear formula. You can say that derivation of shear formula, right? So let's see how it is going to be worked, right? So we have defined, suppose we have taken in a small element of the beam, right? We have taken a small element of the beam and we have taken a section, right? This is defined as m, m1, n1, and right, and the distance between this small section is defined as tx. Okay, let's draw a neutral axis and we can see that at the face of mn, at the face of mn हमारे पास एक मोमेंट एक्ट करता है जिसका हमने डिफाइन किया m. right? One thing is always remember this. This is defined as non-uniform loading, right? Non-uniform loading. What does it mean? Non-uniform loading means we have bending moment, right? We have a bending loading, you can say, and shearing force, both, right? Uniform loading means what? We have either of the above values. Either we have a pure bending. In a case of pure bending, we do not have any shear force. When we do not have any shear force, there is no shear stress, right? So here in this case, non-uniform loading is there, means bending moment and shearing force, both values are there. So we can say that this is defined as a bending moment M is acting at the face of Mn. Likewise, fine, right? This value is, we can say that V, right? As the distance moves, right, like the dx distance, we can see that the bending moment at the face of M1 N1 is defined as M plus Dm, right? Likewise, their shear force value is also to be defined as V plus delta. Okay, so let's take, हमने क्या किया, we have defined further. अब हमने जो M1 N1 N का ये जो एलिमेंट्स है, इसको यहाँ पे ड्रॉ करने जा रहे हैं, the side you can say, and based on this कि यहाँ से जो आपका जो फोर्स का डायग्राम है वो किस तरह से जनरेट होने वाला है, दैट वी आर गोइंग टू, राइट? जस्ट टेल मी वन थिंग, सर, व्हेन वी टॉकिंग अबाउट द बेंडिंग मोमेंट एम, राइट, इट मींस व्हाट, हमें क्या मिलने वाला है? हमें मिलने वाला है नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस, राइट? व्हाट वी आर गेटिंग इज नॉर्मल स्ट्रेस. नाउ सी दिस कंडीशन. जैसे ही आप इसको देख रहे हो कि यहाँ पे ये बेंडिंग मोमेंट जो है, मोमेंट लग रहा है, इट इज एक्टिंग एट दिस कंडीशंस, राइट? मतलब ये आपका एट द एम एन फेस इट इज एक्टिंग एज एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, और आपका M1 N1 फेस एंटी क्लॉकवाइज. इसका मतलब ये जो टॉप फेस है, दिस टॉप फेस इज हैविंग कंप्रेशन एंड दिस बॉटम फेस इज हैविंग टेंशन, करेक्ट? तो इस पॉइंट को अगर हम एनालाइज करें, दिस इज इफ वी डिफाइन एज अ न्यूट्रल एक्सिस पॉइंट, देन its value it starts from 0 and it will be maximum at this phase, right? तो हम यहाँ पे अगर हम वैल्यूज को डिफाइन करें तो इट शुड बी ड्रॉ लाइक दिस. मींस अगर ये आपका कंप्रेशन वैल्यूज शो कर रहा है, तो योर बेंडिंग, you can say your sigma values is to be draw something like this, right? So we can say that this is your M N phase, this is your M1 N1 phase, right? Likewise, in the bottom one, it is also defined in this particular fashion with respect to bending, right? Just see this condition. अब इस फेस को ये कंप्रेस करने की कोशिश करेगा बिकॉज इट इज ऑफ कंप्रेसिव नेचर, and the bottom face you will get a tensile nature. So we can say that at the face Mn, we have a stress which is defined as a sigma. Likewise, at the face of M1 N1, we have a sigma 2 value, right? हमने क्या किया, हमने यहाँ पे एक स्मॉल कंडीशंस, एक और सब एलिमेंट्स को कंसीडर किया विच इज डिफाइंड एज M1 P1 and P, right? This values is defined as H by 2 and this values is further defined as h by, right? Now we are more concerned of this sub element which is defined as m, m1, p1 and p. If I'm going to draw this value, this is basically at this point. तो हमने क्या किया है कि इस सेक्शन में से इस सब एलिमेंट्स को डिफाइन कर लिया. तो हमने क्या बोला कि लेट्स टेक दिस वैल्यूज एंड वी हैव डिफाइंड कि सपोज फ्रॉम द न्यूट्रल एक्सिस दिस इज डिस्टेंस ऑफ y1, right? This is your m, m1, p1 and p. So this one having a force जो यहाँ से हमने इसको एलिमिनेट किया. This is also having this one, right? Which is sigma 1 values जो है यहाँ पे हमने डिफाइन किया sigma 1. This is value of sigma. The phase P1 and P, because we are eliminating this one, so this phase is having a shear stress value which is defined as tau, right? Okay. This is a small distance. Let's see these conditions. हमने क्या बोला कि let's take a small area, right? In this particular section, let's take a small area, which is a value you can say y from the neutral axis, and this is a small area of d, right? So we can say that because of the presence of bending moment, I'm just going to write some points which is important and relevant. The first point, because of the presence, yes, because of the presence of bending moment, because of the presence of bending moment and shear force, this element is subjected to normal and shear stress, right? So in this part of the calculation, only normal stresses, in this part of the calculations only normal stresses are needed in the following calculations. Always remember, right? Why we have only considered normal stresses? Because the shear stress is in this conditions is in equilibrium conditions, right? So it is not necessary to consider that values. We only concerned about the normal stresses, and based on the normal stresses we can calculate the shear stress values, and that is why we have defined the sigma 1 and sigma 2 here, right? Okay, moving to the next part. So we can see that if if I ask you what is the value, just tell me. If I ask you what is the value of sigma 1 here in this case, so can we write sigma 1 is equals to uh, minus denotes the compression sign is m y by I? Yes, right? Likewise, sigma 2 value is also to be defined as, at this phase, moment is m plus dm, so we can write dm plus dm into y by height. So we have the value of sigma 1 at this point and sigma 2 at this particular point, right? So that is the stress we have calculated. The stress in the part we have calculated. So let's define force acting. When we talking about forces in terms of force, so we can say that the force acting on this element, force acting on this element of a small area, right? That is of dA. It should be what? Sigma into dA, right? Sigma into dA. So this is basically the force of this value. So that we can write an expression sigma 1 into dA, right? Which is also to be written as what? My by I into dA. Likewise, the values of force, we can integrate that values, which is defined as sigma 1 into dA, which can be written as my by I into dy, right? Now, class, you can see that what should be the limit of this values, right? In this, what is if force, if we are talking about, so we have defined the value of y1, right? So we have taken this element. So if we take कि हाँ हमको ये sigma 1 total from y1 to h by 2 कितना है, so that limit is also to be defined as from y1 till h by 2, right? If you want to cover it from neutral axis, then the value of y1 should be 0. So because we have taken a small element, so let's first calculate what should be the value of normal stress on this particular element, that is m, m1, p1, p. Based on this, उसके बाद हम आगे further conditions को solve कर सकते हैं. That f1 is a phase of m1, right? So we can say that this is m n phase of the forces. Likewise, similarly, we can define that values of F2, that is of integral of sigma 2 into dA, which is also to be written as that is m plus delta m into upon y I into dA, right? Now, the F2 is defined as this is F1 is defined as in this conditions, right? And F2 is defined as in this opposite. So let's take this forces in equilibrium, since the sub element is in equilibrium. If I say since the sub element, we can say that the sub element is in equilibrium, so we can say that let's take a value of F3, which is defined as F2 minus F1, right? So when we write this expression, therefore F3, what is the value of F3? We can, if we are going to write this expression, we can write like m plus delta m upon I into y into dA, right? That is minus of my I into dA. It means what? This expression can be written as, this can be written as what? dm y I into dA, right? So we have defined this values कि भैया आपका एक इस particular element में जो equilibrium forces F3 act कर रहा है उसका magnitude कितना है? Integral of dm by I into d. अब आप यहाँ पे और देख समझने की कोशिश करो. This force is acting. If I say this is acting, this sub element पे आपका एक force value act कर रहा है जिसको हमने बोला F3, right? तो इसके 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 ऑपोजिट केस में जो एक shear स्ट्रेस एक्ट कर रहा है दैट इज आल्सो इन ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शंस, राइट? तो इसको काउंटर करने के लिए इस फेस पे एक shear स्ट्रेस की वैल्यूज आएगी क्या? टाउ, राइट? व्हिच कैन बी, व्हिच इज टू बी डिफाइंड एज, अब यहाँ पे ये देखो, व्हिच इज टू बी डिफाइंड एज, अब हम यहाँ पे अगर हम लिखना चाहें सिंपल फॉर्म में, let's see this, the value first, the value of F3 is now what? Now this is dm. We have taken it outside of this integral, dm y I into y into dm, right? Now, if I say up, apply this condition, if I say if shear, you can say that if shear stress tau are uniformly uniformly distributed across across the width across the width b of the beam, the force F3, the force F3 is also equal, that is F3 को आप क्या लिख सकते हो, that is F3 is equals to tau into B into dx, right? This can be written as, तो ये जो वैल्यूज है इसको हम रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं F3 को यहाँ पे, yes. So now this is suppose your equation number 1, this is your equation number 2, so we can write it like tau into B into dx, and that is equals to dm upon I y into dx. Now listen carefully. Now this is the crux of this one. So tau can be written as what? We can write it in this particular fashion: dm upon dx, right? dm upon dx into 1 upon I into b into integral of y into dA, right? Up to this point, I believe it is clear to everyone. Now, just tell me one thing. What is the significance of dm upon dx? मतलब अगर आप moment को differentiate करोगे, what you will get? You will get shear force values, right? So we can define that this is a value which is a shear force upon I into B, that is moment of inertia. B, your values of this one. What is this y into dA? This is nothing but the first moment, you can say that, and the first moment is also defined as your area moment, right? This area moment can also be written as area, that is total area into your the CG of the value, right? So you can see that your tau, or you can say the shear stress values or your formula is derived in this particular condition. Tau is equals to V upon IB into area into Y bar. Y bar defined as the CG of this particular area. Let's take a rectangular section of the beam, right? Now you have a beam of rectangular section. Okay. So if I say a rectangular section, right? So it is to be in a cross-sectional point view. I can draw this. Now I'm going to draw this. This is the rectangle of one. Okay. Now let's first draw the neutral axis. This is your neutral axis. Suppose let's take a small element in this rectangular section and its value. This is defined as from y. Now I believe if this is a rectangular section, right? This is also a rectangular part, and in this rectangular part, y bar it means what? The CG of this value. So we can say that it is always at the center of this one, is this particular section. So y bar is a distance from the neutral axis. So we can define that this is your y bar from this point, right? How you are going to locate this one? Just now tell me, this total height is h by 2. If h is the total height of the beam rectangular, then from neutral axis its distance is h by 2. Now tell me one thing. This value, how much of this values it is? Can we write this values is h by 2 minus of y, right? Okay. Let's define this. We have draw this values. What is the area of this part? We can say that m n o p. So we are more concerned of area of m n o p, right? So what should be the area of this m n o p? This this is what? Width. This part is the width, that is b, right? We can say that b width into this area. I'm going to write here, otherwise it will make no. B into h by 2 minus 1. This should be the area of this rectangular portion. Now, tell me, if I'm going to write the distance of y bar, then y bar is what? The half of this value plus of y. So can we write this expression, that is y plus of half of this values can be defined as what? H by 2, right? H by 2 minus y divided by 2, right? So which is also to be written as, if you are going to solve this one, you will get y. This is h by 4 minus y by 2. So y minus y by 2 gives you what? Plus y by 2 plus h by 4, right? So this is defined in this particular case. Okay. Now tell me one thing. In this expression, अगर हम बोलते हैं कि वैल्यूज ऑफ shear stress कैलकुलेट करना है, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए व्हाट इज द V I into P, right, into this values, area into y bar, right? So you have already calculated the values of y bar, you have already calculated the values of a, right? So let's solve this tau की values को हम calculate करते हैं. Now here in this case, uh, solve one by one. What is the values of I? This I is defined as bh cube by 12, right? Now the values of tau is defined here in this case is 6 b bh cube on h by 2 of the square minus y square. So this is what? This is your shear stress variation, that is tau, shear stress variation with respect to y, right? Now just tell me one thing. If you are going to see this expression, so you all know that the shear stress will be zero in top and bottom fiber in every cross section. That is one thing. There are some points that I'm going to write is, first important is like shear stress. You can say the shear stress will be zero in top and bottom fiber, right? In every cross section. In every cross section. That is one thing you always remember. You can say that the cross sectional shape, I'm going to draw it, if it is of the rectangle one, if it is of the circular one, this is the beam shape. If it is of a triangular one, or if it is of a the I section, etc. Right? But now the point you need to remember, but tau max, in neutral axis, the tau max in neutral axis for rectangle or circular and I section means what? कि your shear stress will be zero, right? टॉप फाइबर्स में चाहे आपका कोई भी टाइप का शेप हो, स्क्वायर हो, रेक्टेंगल हो, सर्कुलर हो, आई सेक्शन, टॉप सेक्शंस के shear stress की वैल्यू जीरो होगी. बट at neutral axis, this is your neutral axis, this point is a neutral axis, right? At neutral axis your tau max will be your tau shear stress will be maximum only in a case of this rectangular, circular and I section, right? But in triangular section you can say that if I'm going to write in triangle section, tau max is not, shear stress you can say is not maximum at neutral axis. So always remember this point very carefully, right? Okay, so I'm going to draw some of the you can say the shape, so that you can also have an idea, like the circular section. This is of rectangular. Similarly, I'm going to draw is a circular section, right? In circular section, let's draw this. This is the case first, right? This is being the neutral axis. So after it draw over something like that, this will become the, suppose, the area, cross-sectional area which you want to find out. This is the point. Why this become the center? This will be the radius of this one, right? So this is again, when you solve this one, you will find a parabolic curve, and its expression at tau is defined as, that is 4 by 3 v upon pi r square 1 minus y square by r square. So we'll find that the shear stress is again a parabolic in nature, and you can draw this in this condition. Right? This will be your tau max. This will be your tau maximum. Right? So let's see this condition at value. Let's segregate this. At y equals to 0, tau max of this circular section can be written as 4 by 3 v by pi r square, which is also defined as 4 by 3 t of the average values, right? So we can write that is the T max is nothing but 1.33 of T of average, right? Similarly, I will draw for the I section. Let's see the I section, how it is to be there. I hope you all can calculate how this I section is to be draw. I'm going to just give you an idea how this is going to be work in this case. this is you can say that how it seems like this your I sections, right? I believe it is clear to everyone how we have been calculated this value. This is the point you can say, right? And from this point neutral axis, you can find this values of y bar, right? So this is all about shear stress, how we have been calculated, how we have been defined this one.